My name is Cadet Rapalo, and I am the school district's JROTC area commander from North Fort Myers High School. I'll be the master of ceremony for today's event. Please join me in recognizing the dignitaries with us this morning. School Board Chair, Ms. Kathleen Morgan. Also with us are school board members, Ms. Mary Fisher and Ms. Chris Patrica. Mr. Robert Dodig, School Board Attorney, Superintendent Dr. Greg Atkins, members of Dr. Atkins' cabinet. Here today are the district's Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Wanda Creel, the district's Chief Finance Officer, Mr. Gregory Burton, our Chief Human Resources Office, Dr. Angela Pruitt, and the district's Chief Information Officer, Mr. Trey Davis. Please stand for the presentation of our national colors by the Cadet Honor Guard from Cape Coral High School, JROTC, and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Cadets Kayla Myers, Morgan Jones, and Cheyenne Cleland.
Forward, march! Left face. Present the colors.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order, colors. Right face. Order, colors. Forward, march.
Please be seated. Armistice Day started as a celebration of the peace that followed World War I. It evolved into Veterans Day, a day to honor those who have served and now serve in uniform, as well as those who died in service to their country. November 11, 2018 is the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I hostilities. To commemorate this special occasion, we initiated what we hope will become an annual tradition, the Run to Remember. The run is a way to honor the contributions veterans have and continue to make on behalf of our nation. Participating in the run were teams of JROTC cadets from Dunbar and South Fort Myers JROTC programs. In addition to the JROTC cadets, Dr. Atkins ran with the teams. The teams carried the POW MIA flag on the run. Posted in the atrium are United States and Florida state flags flown over the headquarters of Colonel Richard Aviles on a leave of absence from our district. who is deployed to Baghdad, Iraq until the spring of 2019. The flags flew over the headquarters on August 27th, the 131st anniversary of the founding of our school district. These flags, along with certificates of authenticity, will be presented to Chairwoman Morgan and Dr. Atkins later. Please join me in welcoming the Run to Remember teams to our ceremony.
Okay, attention, forward, march. Mark time, march. Raiders, hold. Right, face.
Please post the POW MIA flag.
Right, face. Forward, march.
Please direct your attention to the center of the atrium. Cadets from Norfolk Myers JROTC will present the Fallen Comrade ceremony.
Forward. March. Defense. Hold. Set. Face.
Please notice the table in the center of the atrium. It is reserved to honor our fallen comrades. The empty place setting represents the men and women from each of the 5 services: Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Department of Defense civilians who are missing in action or prisoners of war. This ceremony symbolizes that they are with us here in spirit. All Americans should never forget the brave men and women who answer our nation's call and serve the cause of freedom in a special way. I would like to explain the meaning of the items on this special table. The table is round to show our everlasting concern for those still missing. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call to duty. The single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the life of each of the missing and their loved ones and friends who keep the faith, awaiting answers. The vase is tied with a yellow ribbon, symbol of our continued determination to account for our missing. A slice of lemon is to remind us of the bitter fate of those captured and missing in a foreign land. A pinch of salt symbolizes the tears endured by those missing and their families who seek answers. The Bible represents the strength gained through faith to sustain those lost from our country, founded as one nation under God. The glass is inverted to symbolize their inability to share today's tribute. The candle is a reminder of the hope living in our hearts to illuminate their way home from captors to open arms of a grateful nation. The chair is empty, they are not here. The U.S. flag reminds us, as Americans, of the many who may not return but who serve to ensure freedom. As the honor guard places one of the 5 service covers and a civilian cap on the table, I ask you to consider their sacrifices. Let us never forget America's POWs, MIAs, and our soldiers in harm's way.
Place. Hats. Pose. Freeze. Arms. Order. Arms. Hours. Base. Forward. March.
Let's give the Norfolk Myers Cadets a round of applause. It's my special pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major, retired Ray Devens, a 1982 graduate of Cape Coral High School and a 35-year veteran of the U.S. Army. Sergeant Major Devens' service culminated as the Command Sergeant Major of the 8th U.S. Army, responsible for advising the 4-star commanding general on all matters pertaining to enlisted soldiers. He is currently a JROTC instructor at Mariner High School. A more detailed biography of Sergeant Major Devens is on the back of today's program.
All right. Thank you, Commander Rapalo. I appreciate it. And also, I'd ask everybody if they could recognize one more time the color guard, the singers, those that ran, especially the students that ran, and those that demonstrated. Please give them a round of applause. Good morning, distinguished guests, veterans, and everybody attending today's ceremony. I'm truly blessed to be here amongst our school district family and acknowledge a Veterans Day celebration. As a veteran, I appreciate this day of recognition and grateful to be here with all of you today. Stephen Ambrose once said, and I quote, "America's wars have been like rungs on the ladder, by which it rose to greatness that no other country has triumphed so long and so consistently on such a vast scale through its forces of arms like our nation." Today's recognition is about those American veterans that served our nation in those forces of arms. I would even claim it's probably one of the greatest military forces we've ever had in the history of our world. From the American Revolution to the global war on terrorism, our veteran warriors have demonstrated time and time again their American patriotism is alive and well, while having a privilege to serve selflessly for our country with unwavering commitment for not only national security, but also now as veterans for our schools, for our communities, and for our families. I'm honored to be amongst this special group of men and women, and proud to say that I'm a veteran of our nation's warrior class. As Cynthia Ozick once stated, we often take for granted the very things that are most deserving our gratitude. These words fit well as a reminder when we celebrate Veterans Day, but also to see the goodness in recognizing veterans and their service every day. Seeking opportunities to pass your appreciation and simple handshake or pat on the back to let a veteran know that you are aware of theirs and their family's sacrifice. There is a great example of one famous Floridian that I know personally and met personally, but he attributes his success in college football to a veteran that has lived many years before him. Coach Spurrier for the Florida Gators, when he became national championship, they had won a national championship, he was asked by one of the reporters, "What do you attribute your success to?" And he said, and I quote, "Each coach has success to an extent in the base of the success of the predecessors. Mine is a U.S. Army general that is retired, General Van Fleet." Many know General Van Fleet was a great combat commander in World War II, Korea War, and Vietnam. He was, but also they don't know that he was Major Van Fleet at the University of Florida in the 1920s. And the dean asked them to take over the Florida football team because they were having many discipline problems and they were not winning any games. So he took them, and through his skills and his mindset affect the discipline level of the students that were on the football team that were not part of JROTC, or the ROTC, excuse me. He instilled the will to win, demanded discipline from them, understanding the importance of professional bearing, utilizing selfless courage, and how to be effective at that on the football field with the other team members that are going against, and how to inspire other people. He did this, and even today, when you talk to him about it, what made him successful, he always attributes this to this American veteran. So it is great to see that. I'd ask each of you to remember, when recognizing a veteran, that only 1% of our nation serves at any given time, are willing or can serve in our nation, in our military service. Many enjoy the security and freedoms provided by the past and present service members, so we just need to make sure that we recognize them. This is why American veterans are the kind of people that are starting to build our economy and help to keep America competitive. More and more companies are hiring veterans, not out of charity or not out of some moral obligation, but because they know it's good for their business to have men and women who have successfully and honorably served within our nation's warrior class and can continue that focus within their business. On November 11th, when you celebrate Veterans Day, to honor our brave soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marine, and Coast Guard men, I hope each of you feel a sense of awe and pride in your soul and makes your heart beat a little bit faster, and with joy and excitement of what freedom means to you. And know that freedom is because of a U.S. veteran. In closing, I thank all of you for the time and commitment of recognizing our veterans today. I have a quote by President Kennedy, and I can close out with that. As we express our gratitude We must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by those words. I ask that each of you please show your appreciation through acts of kindness to your local veterans on this day and every day. May God bless each of you, may God bless our schools, and God bless our veterans, but more importantly, may God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant Major Devens. At this time, would all veterans with us today please come forward to be recognized?
Please start right here. Folks, if you could please.
Each veteran will be presented with a specially minted 100th anniversary of the end of World War I coin in recognition of their service to our nation. Please join me in a round of applause. Veterans, please be seated. If you are looking for something to do this Saturday morning, over 500 cadets will march in the city of Fort Myers Veterans Day Parade beginning at 11 a.m. On Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., over 600 JROTC cadets will march in the Cape Coral Veterans Day Parade, forming the largest single contingent participating. Please take some time on Sunday, November 11th, to thank a veteran for their service and talk to them and listen to their story, or attend one of the many veterans recognition services taking place in our community. This concludes today's recognition. Thank you all for coming.